Yeah. So thank you. Please enjoy the sharing of The Last Shot by Troy Russell.
Thank you.
Two bars?
Yeah.
One, two, three, go.
Grandmother was a queen of the tribe. I knew Karuma woman been a long time alive. She said she didn't like me, I was too fair, but that's okay with me because my Jimmy, he don't care. Jimmy's grandma, queen of the tribe. I knew Karuma woman been a long time alive. I love you, Jimmy, I do love you so. Come on, let's dance, rock me to and fro. The other guys are watching, I can see it in their eyes. Come on, let's dance, Jimmy, you're my prize. I love you, Jimmy, I do love you so. Come on, let's dance, rock me to and fro.
Florrie was a flat country girl. She comes up from near Tinga, as far as I know. She was brought up with them good old Christian ways. Anyways, she could sing, and she could dance too. Her and her fella, this Jimmy, won a dance competition at Stony Creek when they were courting. And at this dance, they were having a ball. All the fellas were spinning the girls around. Yeah, geez, it was fun. But there, off to the side, in a dark corner, was this one fella, kept to himself, you know. Hey, hardly ever spoke to anyone else. He just stood in that corner and watched Florrie dancing. Well, they say he was a tracker, but all I know is he was quiet. So anyway, this fella Jimmy, he was the head stockman up at Bassadine Station, tall, dark and handsome, and he was a good bloke. Well, him and Florrie fell in love, but his grandmother was dead set against it, and she certainly didn't want anything to do with Florrie. But that young girl was persistent. She kept at her old aunt, till one day Auntie asked her what her meat was. Well, Florrie didn't understand the meaning. Your mob, you know, her skin. So Florrie blurted out the words, mutton. Well, old Auntie laughed herself silly, and from that point onwards, her and old Auntie became good friends after that. Now, Florrie and Jimmy were put on a trial as such, and this trial was set for young lovers by the elders for wanting to get married. Well, the idea was that the couple would walk for 3 days and then arrive at Stenifer to be wed there, you know, and not as punishment, but to test their love for one another. They set off with their belongings, travelling with all that they needed for the long walk. And Jimmy always carried his pistol for protection from wild pigs and to protect them from any other troubles they may run into on the way. Well, Jimmy knew the country well, as he comes from a long line of custodians. Anyway, it was a long walk.
Life is a river running underground. You can feel it when the sun's gone down. Leave that water in the ground. Life is a journey, it's a beautiful song. You can join in if you sing along. Leave that water in the ground. Ooh, don't let that water dry up. If it's gone, so are we. Don't let this land be broken. Let the rivers run to the sea. Life is a river running underground. You can feel it when the sun's gone down. Leave that water in the ground. Life is a journey, it's a beautiful song. You can join in if you sing along. Leave that water in the ground. Ooh, don't let that water dry up.
Now the cowcocky was a stern man, but fair. He was a follower of Irish descent and came to New South Wales to make a new start. He married a convict's daughter who already had a young son. But this young fella, he grew into a nasty man, not like his stepfather. Anyway, the pastoralist, cowcocky, had obtained some land from the government and bred cattle. He had his head stockman, and this was Jimmy. And he worked hard, and he never gave the cowcocky any trouble. And as payment, the cocky gave him a small parcel of land to the local Aboriginals so they could farm it and in turn help with the cattle at roundup time. The cocky's son, though, was trouble. He was mean to the blacks and even said that he was bad to the young Aboriginal girls too. Now the tracker was a quiet bloke and always kept to himself. He worked for the cowcocky as one of Jimmy's ringers. This tracker fella had a falling out with Jimmy after Jimmy declared that he and Florrie were to be wedded after the Great Australian Muster and just before Anzac Day. And when the boss took his prize Angus bull down to Sydney town at the new venue at Moore Park. And as a side, there was news of a flu outbreak in Europe and soldiers were returning from the war. So, there was much to celebrate. Now, somewhere between prize bulls, Moore Park and a flu outbreak, the cocky's son had been shot and he was found dead on the outskirts of town while on a big night out. Gunned down and left to die in a ditch by the side of the road. He probably deserved it. But someone started to whisper that Jimmy done it because the cowcocky's son was messing around with Florrie. Well, I'll tell you now, it wasn't him. Jimmy and Florrie were already on their way to Stanifer. And back at the homestead, the house was in a fit. The kitchen hands and the ringers were scarce, and only the tracker was waiting outside the main house. There was shouting and wailing and a woman's voice singing out, "Go and do something!" The door flung open. The cocky was in a rage. He said to the tracker, "Well?" And the tracker says, "This way, boss."
Sitting by the window in the early morning light, a young Koori woman holding her baby tight. The shouting from the night before still ringing in her ears. You don't know till you've lived it what it's like to live in fear. Into a corner, the young man held his breath. A bunch of boys cornered him, and tears fell onto his chest. The beating was horrendous. They left such a bloody mess. at the end of that tunnel, a pot of gold at rainbow's end. It's the 1,000 smiling faces, not the ones who hold out their hands. You don't know till you've lived it, what it's like to live in fear. You don't know till you've lived it, what it's like to live in fear.
This was the tracker's chance to get Jimmy out of the way and then claim Florrie as his prize. You see, the tracker was Gwangi, as he was beaten up as a child and his mother got it worse from his unknown father. But he hid his madness well, even though the marriage of Florrie to this fella had driven him wild and tipped him over the edge. He and Florrie had known each other since they were kids, and his love grew as they got older. It was almost an obsession. So he shot the cockey's son, started the rumour that Jimmy killed him, and the cow cocky just saw red and wanted blood. Jimmy and Florrie were unaware of any of this whirlwind coming from behind them.
country girl, raised up on good Christian ways, ran off with the love of her life and loved him till his dying day. They stopped at Longali and camped in a dry riverbed. They lay close in the moonlight on his shoulder. She rested her head. They walked through the bushland. The tracker was a whole day behind. Man lay dead in his bed. Lord have mercy on this poor soul of mine. Stillness of the evening, quiet of the night, bird song hailed in the morning. Another day to fly, fly. She was a true country girl, off with the love of a life. The gun was heavy in his mind and in his hand. His dying day had arrived. The first shot broke the stillness. A bullet whistled past his head. He turned and drew his gun, and he saw her at his feet, She was a true country girl, raised up on good Christian ways, ran off with the love of her life and loved him till her dying day.
The final shot by Troy Russell, The End.
Stop the band later.